very unpredictable, and that's why they're dangerous, as a matter of fact, you know, because the driver is so desperate to get away. They will do anything. They will put anyone in danger just to try and get away. We saw that Coral Gables sign there, so it appears that he's still approaching the area of the 826. So just south of there on the 874s, it appears that this is where it is. But you see that Miami-Dade police cruiser right on the tail there. But we are fortunate that this is not rush hour, because it could be a lot, plenty more cars on the road as well.
Well, Terrell, I'll tell you, that driver is heading towards the 826, 836. Anyone who lives in Miami knows how congested that gets. There's ongoing construction up there. I can tell you there are lanes that are shut down during the day on the 826 northbound. So this driver is going to have some trouble trying to continue north, that's for sure, especially as he heads towards the area of Doral and Hialeah. But again, live pictures here of this police pursuit on the Palmetto Expressway northbound. It looks like that driver now approaching the area of the Dolphin Expressway this afternoon.
Looks like he's now on the 826 northbound, the Palmetto Expressway. He's now heading northbound on the 826. So that is what you are seeing right now. We saw at least about 4 or 5 marked Miami-Dade police cruisers approaching. We do know also that since this involves the highway and it involved the Florida Turnpike at some point, that the FHP has been notified, and they've been involved to some extent as well. But this is no doubt a Miami-Dade police pursuit that you are looking at live here on Sky 10. Again, the 826 northbound is where the Chevy Tahoe is being sought right now.
And do we know, Terrell, are we hearing from the scanners, I know you're in the newsroom, whether this was a stolen vehicle or perhaps something that was involved in a robbery? Have we heard exactly what started this pursuit in the first place?
We have not been able to learn exactly why police are pursuing this vehicle, or perhaps how many people are inside of this SUV at some point. But we do know that this has been going on for at least about 10 to 15 minutes or so. Again, weaving through the streets of southwest Miami-Dade, getting down to very close to the area of Homestead before the driver decided to turn around and head northbound. We just saw that road sign, that highway sign, Southwest 24th Street. So this is north of there. There we go, Southwest 8th Street. So these cars are moving very, very quickly. And on the Palmetto.
Yeah, Terrell, we can tell just how quickly with those pictures, how fast he is driving, just passing that exit there to Flagler, Tamiami Trail. And again, on the approach to the Dolphin Expressway, a major traffic nightmare for most people on a regular day, but there are still construction crews out there. We are going to see some congestion, and that's where the major concern comes in, because it's going to get a little bit tighter for him to weave in and out of traffic, which we're clearly seeing on our screen right now.
Yeah, look at that. He just cut in front of, looks like that box truck there, still heading northbound there, passing 836. This is West Miami-Dade now, passing the crossover to 836. Does not appear, from what I can tell, does not appear to be taking the 836, but still heading northbound on the Palmetto. But we've seen this SUV weave, there we go, in front of another, what appears to be another truck. We've seen them pass very close to some school buses, some cars, obviously not really realizing what's going on until this SUV is really right up on them. And here we go with a little congestion that you mentioned.
Yeah, Terrell, there's ongoing construction a little further north. If that driver continues, the Palmetto gets down to 2 to 3 lanes because of ongoing daytime construction there. So again, the concern is that this driver is driving erratically, just swerving in and out of traffic. You almost hope that he gets off the Palmetto, because it's going to get worse before it gets any better with the congestion we expect in the area of Hialeah Gardens, and then further north into Miami-Dade County.
Yeah, if you're familiar with this area, this is Northwest 25th Street now. This is north of the 836, but we're still on the Palmetto heading northbound. He is in that right lane there. Police do not appear to be backing down. They have been hot on the trail. They've been watching his every move, again, on the highway and also overhead. Miami-Dade Police also in a chopper overhead, keeping an eye on every twist and turn that this SUV takes. Here he is in that emergency lane again. It's just really fortunate that no one is in those emergency lanes when that car weaves into it. can only hope that no one is hurt in this situation, because he's certainly putting a lot of lives at risk.
Yeah, certainly. Now, if anybody is just tuning in right now expecting to see the chew, we are staying on this scene. It's a police pursuit that at first was going southbound on the turnpike, and now we are on the Palmetto Expressway northbound in some definite congestion, lots of traffic and construction in this particular area. This driver going at very high rates of speed, weaving in and out of traffic. As far as we know, so far no one has been injured, but there have been a number of very, very close calls in the last few minutes that we've been watching.
He is traveling north on the Palmetto Expressway, approaching Northwest 36th Street. That's near the area of Doral for you folks who are just tuning in. This chase started a little while ago south on the turnpike and then turned back north, headed north on the Don Shul Expressway, has continued north at the Palmetto Expressway, and he's been driving just in and out of traffic back and forth, switching these lanes. And Christine, you know, we've watched this together, and it's scary to think what could happen.
Yeah, we've seen some of these cars trying to get out of the way a little bit, but and slowing down. But right now, boy, the traffic is definitely getting more and more congested. This is a very busy area and lots of construction, and things could get very dangerous right here.
Yeah, this is one of the most busiest areas in Miami-Dade County, the Palmetto Expressway, especially at this time, lunch hour. Anyone who travels on the Palmetto knows how congested it gets. It looks like just passing the Hialeah Expressway, that is near Okeechobee Road, as you're seeing right there, as he continues north in this location. This is near the area of Hialeah Gardens, just to give you a frame of reference where this driver is traveling. So if you have anyone who's out driving on the Palmetto this afternoon, this could become a very serious situation. Just let them know what's going on and to use caution, obviously, especially at this point. I'm sure police are probably tracking him. It's going to slow down quite a bit, especially if he continues north right at the big curve. It's going to slow down. So hopefully they're putting together some sort of plan to stop him.
And Terrell, I know you're in the newsroom and you're tracking things for us in there. Can you bring us any more information as we see this guy or woman, this driver, in the emergency lanes there, weaving in and out of traffic?
Yeah, we're still trying to gather the latest information. What we really are trying to find out is why police is chasing this SUV. Again, this chase started about a little more than 15 minutes ago, and it's been going nonstop ever since. This appears to be still the Palmetto heading northbound, but we've just received information into the newsroom that the driver is believed to be is believed to be a teenager, and this SUV is believed to be stolen. So that is the very latest information now coming into our Local 10 newsroom. So we could have a young, inexperienced driver at our hands, and the act of desperation obviously will grow as traffic could thicken at some points on this highway.
It looks like that driver continuing north there at the Palmetto Expressway, approaching 122nd Street and then on to 154th Street. That's where we expect him to take a sharp right. Also on your screen here, it looks like a number of FHP troopers behind him, if I'm correct. I know you mentioned, Terrell, there's a few agencies involved with this chase.
Yeah, there are a few agencies involved because it originally started on the Florida Turnpike, so that is how the FHP got involved. Of course, Miami-Dade Police has been hot on the trail ever since as well. We do not know if the Florida Highway Patrol is still involved in this police pursuit, but you just saw this SUV get narrowly close to that fire rescue truck that's on the highway as well.
It looks like he's going to try to exit off at I-75. I'm thinking that exit's coming up rather quickly. He can either turn left and head to I-75 or continue north and then head east on the Palmetto Expressway. So keeping our eyes on this situation. Again, this driver continuing north here on the Palmetto Expressway, coming up to an area where he could take a left or right as agencies across the board continue to follow this driver.
And this is right before the curve, before the 826 goes from north-south to east-west. So this is right before that curve. He's in the northbound lane, so this is right where he can make that decision to continue eastbound on the 826. So he's still on the Palmetto heading northbound at this point. It looks like, to some degree, from what we can tell, that perhaps police have backed off a little bit from their police pursuit. We see one there, but they're not following so closely to this SUV anymore.
You know, so often, Terrell, we followed these pursuits, and you're always just hoping for the best, that everything ends safely, and we know that these